So the G4TV situation was definitely an embarrassing one for everyone involved with G4TV, whether it's the bosses of G4TV, who apparently are extremely frustrated with how they're treating the fans, with how people like Frosk and even the other hosts like Adam Sessler are treating the fans. And if you are a boss, if I were a boss of these people of G4TV, I'm trying to kind of revive this old brand and turn a profit off of it, I would be very frustrated as well. They definitely should be frustrated, and in my opinion, they need to make some changes. They need to make some firings. They need to make some new hires. Some people who care less about activism who care more about gaming and other things that they want to review and talk about. But anyway, the situation, like I said, as embarrassing as it gets, as catastrophic as it gets for people like G4TV, but they continue to make it worse. They continue to make their brand look worse and worse. And honestly, mainly it's Frosk, but obviously people like Adam Sessler have said some absolutely ridiculous things as well. But Frosk is definitely the main offender when it comes to this. She just can't help herself. I do want to check in on a couple of the ratios for G4TV real quick. Here's the most recent live stream 18 hours ago, and it's about 50-50 ratio. So it's still, the ratios are still going strong on their channel. They're still losing subscribers. It's going bad. You know, as much as Frosk wants to say, as much as everyone else wants to say that they're actually gaining subscribers, they're gaining money, you know, they're making money, they're gaining clicks, stuff like that off the situation, they want to spin it and act like, you know, this is a good thing for them. This is a good thing for their brand, personal brands, and G4TV. It's not. You know, even if it does get them a little bit more clicks, even if it does make them a little bit more money, in the long run, this is going to be a net negative for G4TV and also for all their individual brands as well. We saw that happen with Santa Inc. Yeah, the trailers for Santa Inc. got a lot more clicks because of the outrage, because of the controversy. But in the long run, Santa Inc. was an absolute failure of a show, and it broke Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb records for how low the show was scored and how low the show was rated. And I'm sure it probably broke records as well for how many people actually watched the show, because no one would have known about Santa Inc. if it wasn't for the controversy, if it wasn't for the outrage. So it definitely does work in both directions. It definitely does help out the clicks and help out the ad revenue initially, but in the long run, this will definitely be a net negative for G4TV and for Frosk and Adam Sessler and everyone else involved in this entire situation. Like I said, though, Frosk is not helping herself. Frosk is not helping G4TV either. She's making the situation worse. If you don't know, this is Frosk right here, Indiana Black. She's been making some posts on Reddit, some very interesting posts attacking the fans of G4TV once again, and calling everyone who disagrees with her, calling everyone who thinks that she shouldn't have said what she said on that show. Of course, all the istophobes in the book. That's just how these people work. If you disagree with them, you are this. They just label you constantly instead of trying to argue your points. They just throw labels around at you. That makes it a lot easier on them, because then people will back them up on the internet, especially if you're not a white male, if you're a minority, or if you're a woman. They will definitely back you up because it's a lot easier to label these people as something derogatory, one of these istophobes. It makes it a lot easier on them. But here is a very interesting post. Nerd culture is toxic on 2X chromosomes, and let's read the description real quick of this subreddit. Welcome to 2X chromosomes, a subreddit for both serious and silly content and intended for women's perspectives. We are a welcoming subreddit. We'll see about that in 1 second. We are a welcoming subreddit and support the rights of all genders. Let's check out what Indiana Black has to say. I work in gaming. I'm currently having multiple YouTubers send their followers after me on every platform. Now, I wonder what YouTubers she'd be talking about, because she's probably never seen my videos. My videos don't have enough views for her to see them. Maybe she has. I don't know. But I know for a fact that I would never send my followers or my viewers to go harass anyone. I don't think anyone in their right mind would ever do that, because it's very stupid. For one, it's just wrong morally. And for two, it's always going to come back to bite you, because most of the time, the followers aren't going to listen to you. They're not going to go over there and harass other people simply because their YouTuber told them to. You know, they're not that. I don't think the people that especially watch these types of videos are that stupid, where they're just like, oh, my YouTuber told me to go harass this person, I'm going to go harass this person. They're not that stupid. I really don't think you guys are that stupid. So I don't think they would listen. And for two, like I said, it's wrong morally. And for two, they wouldn't listen, and they would probably attack the person that was telling them to go attack the other people more than they would actually listen to the YouTuber. So that's just stupid. No one is doing that. I've watched a lot of videos on this situation from a lot of different people. I watched RKL posts, I watched Yellow Flash, I watched The Quartering, everyone who's been covering this situation. None of them have ever, not once, said to go attack or harass Frosk. And anyway, it couldn't, none of what they even said could be interpreted in that way. They're simply just giving their thoughts on the situation, just like I'm doing right now. This one included because I did a 3-minute segment on sexism that asked the panel to rant about something that annoyed them in gaming within a 2-hour show. They believed I retaliated because I have been saying lying and spreading misinformation about exclusive releases since I would mistakenly said Hogwarts Legacy was an exclusive release. I think I actually asked if it was brought up. I can't remember. She still can't remember what she was talking about in that situation, but I think that's the least of our worries, especially for me. Maybe a lot of other people out there saying that she's spreading misinformation or lying because she mistakenly said Hogwarts Legacy was an exclusive release. That's not really what I care about in the situation. She probably misspoke or just misremembered the situation. I don't care. I don't really care about that. I care about the lies and misinformation that she's spreading about sexism in gaming, and that entire rant that she went on with that, where she kind of started off with a Red Dead review or whatever she was about to say about Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead Online. And then she just went into this spout about, sexism in gaming and all the other BS that she was spewing. That's what I'm worried about. That misinformation, that dangerous narrative that she was propagating, that's the problem. She says, it's been an absolute shit show in my DMs and emails look like an Xbox Live lobby, but the absolute disconnect of me calling out sexism and then being incredibly sexist to me is pretty funny. So apparently, if we disagree with what she was saying in that clip, we are just being sexist to her. We're not arguing her points. We're not saying that she's spreading a dangerous narrative because of what she was saying in there. We're simply going to disagree with her because she's a woman and we don't like women. I guess that's what she's trying to say. It's ridiculous, man. She can't actually argue. She can't actually defend her points. So she just labels people. She just labels everyone as toxic or as sexist or whatever the word of the day is. That's just what these people do. That's just how they are. And there's no reasoning with them. All you can do is sit back and laugh at them, because no one who has any common sense, no one who has a decently high IQ will ever actually agree with these people, will ever actually try to reason with these people. It's impossible to reason with them. So we just sit back and laugh. That's all we can do. Just sit back and laugh until they come to their senses or they go so insane that no one even listens to them anymore. Hopefully that happens sometime soon. I don't know. I don't know. It's not looking good, I'll be honest. But anyway, there are a lot of bad faith actors who have galvanized nerd communities against marginalized voices and women in particular. There's a great book on the alt-right that details how Gamergate was the first practice run for the nebulous alt-right to deploy their harassment tactics. Our experiences of these instances are left over from their efforts. So they're calling everyone who's calling her out, not directly, of course, but she's kind of insinuating that everyone who's calling her out, all the YouTubers, all the people on Reddit, all these people who are, these made up people, she keeps making stuff up, all these made up people who are sending people at her to harass her and stuff like that. She's calling them alt-right, or at least stemming from the alt-right. This situation is just getting worse and worse for Frosk as time goes on, and she's hurting G4TV more and more the more that she posts all this stuff on Reddit, all this nonsense on Reddit. And obviously, someone probably tried to combat her right here, and this one was deleted by a user. But then if she replies to that guy here, then this one's deleted by a moderator, of course, because I'm sure that she probably got owned in that comment. I never did get to see the comment, but she probably did get owned in that comment. But here is her reply to this deleted post by the user. It says, the level of whoosh here is incredible. I called out specifics, and what previous G4 did was also effed up. You're saying you're liberal here as a weird dog whistle to validate your points, and then ignoring and invalidating mine and all the other women that came out in the industry is an actual joke in the same breath. That you think you can stand for this. You are complicit in the toxic environment if you think a 3-minute conversation on sexism in gaming in a 2-hour show and the multiple hundreds of hours of content we create ruins your G4 experience. I'm going to assume this is a bad troll using words like liberal and LGBTQ rights as means to try and cause infighting, but the reality is that you're siding against the statement. Sexism in gaming exists and it's bad. You know what? Sexism in gaming probably does exist, but I don't think it exists on the level that all these people are trying to claim it does. I really, really don't. I just think that a lot of people in gaming are very toxic. That's just how it is. People, especially in competitive games, people just get really mad. They get really competitive. That's just how it works. And you can tell when someone who's never played a sport tries to be in competitive gaming because they get really butthurt by this stuff. That's just what happens, man. When stuff is competitive, people get toxic, people get angry, people get passionate. But whenever a woman experiences it, a lot of the time, and there's a lot of cool women out there who can just deal with it. They just understand that's just how the culture is. But whenever someone like this experiences that, they just label it as sexism when it's not, man. It's just gaming culture, and you just happen to be a woman. It's nothing to do with you actually being a woman. If someone was fat or if someone was bald, they would just make fun of them for being that. It's just how gaming is, man. It's just part of the culture. If you can't handle the heat, just get out the kitchen. Just stop playing games, stop playing competitive games, especially. If you don't like it, just leave. That's what they tell us, right? If you don't like their videos, just don't watch it. If you don't like the gaming community, get out of the gaming community. It's that simple. But let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. What do you think about Frosk and G4TV? Frosk posting on Reddit and replying to these people. And then, there's a lot of instances where these comments are being removed by moderators. I'll probably do another video, maybe tomorrow, maybe later today, something like that. There's a lot of these instances happening where these comments are getting removed by these moderators on these subreddits, defending, the moderators are trying to defend Frosk and protect Frosk. Let me know what you guys think about the whole situation. If you did enjoy this video, though, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.